Opening hook, they soared like silent ghosts across the dawn sky, unseen until the moment of strike. They swept supersonic, vanished into thin air, and controlled the battlefield before anyone could raise a weapon. In the age of air supremacy, one aircraft stands apart. The F-22 Raptor. Origin story in the early 1980s. The world's air forces were entering a new era. The United States Air Force faced a mounting threat. Advanced Soviet fighters, long-range surface-to-air missile systems, and an emerging challenge of penetrating defended airspace while maintaining air superiority. Global security. The U.S. initiated what would become the Advanced Tactical Fighter ATF program, intent on replacing the then-dominant F-15 Eagle with a next-generation fighter capable of first look, first shot, first kill. Two prototypes emerged in 1990, the YF-22 and the YF-23. In August 1991, the YF-22 design was declared the winner, setting the stage for the F-22. On the 7th of September 1997, the first production F-22 Raptor 4001 took to the skies, a milestone moment heralding a quantum leap in fighter design. Lockheed Martin. From that moment, air dominance would be measured not only in speed and guns, but in stealth, network sensors, and maneuver. The Raptor was born to seize the skies when adversaries thought they were safe. Design and engineering. The F-22's design is nothing less than revolutionary. It blends aerodynamic finesse with stealthy geometry and advanced materials. Air and Space Forces magazine. The wing area is about 840 square feet. Military Analysis Network. Its airframe uses titanium alloys, roughly 42% of structural weight, and advanced composite materials, about 24%, to withstand the stresses of sustained supersonic flight. The planform is carefully sculpted. The clipped diamond-like delta wings, leading edge swept 42, trailing edge 17, and smoothly blended fuselage and chines reduce radar cross-section and impose aerodynamic efficiency. Stealth is baked into the shape. Weapons are carried internally in bays to eliminate external drag and radar signature. Panel edges are aligned at common angular aspects, and continuous curvature reduces radar returns. On the system side, the F-22 boasts advanced avionics and sensor fusion. The pilot is no longer simply a weapons operator, but a battlespace manager. U.S. Air Force materials, maintenance, sustainment were designed for high sortie generation, high readiness in contested environments. In sum, the engineering task was to build a jet that could fly fast, maneuver sharply, hide from radar, and detect and engage the enemy before they knew it was there. Engines and power. Powering the F-22 R2 Pratt & Whitney F119 PW100 augmented turbofan engines, each producing approximately 35,000 lbf, 156 kilonewtons of thrust. Air and Space Forces magazine. This outstanding thrust, combined with the low drag of its stealthy airframe and internal weapon carriage, gives the Raptor a thrust-to-weight ratio near or above unity under typical combat weight, a hallmark of its incredible performance. One of the game-changing capabilities is supercruise, the ability to sustain supersonic flight without using afterburners. The F-22 is reported to supercruise in excess of Mach 1.5 using military power and reaches above Mach 1.8 under certain conditions. With afterburner, top speeds exceed Mach 2.0. Some sources indicate up to Mach 2.25 in clean configuration. The service ceiling is well above 50,000 feet, enabling the Raptor to operate in the high-altitude regime where many threats are less effective. Air and Space Forces magazine. Ferry range, using internal fuel plus external tanks if needed, exceeds 1,600 nautical miles, approximately equals 1,850 miles or 3,000 kilometers in some configurations. Air and Space Forces magazine. What this means? The F-22 can sprint, climb quickly, dominate the vertical dimension, and position itself advantageously before an adversary even registers it. Weapons and systems. The internal weapons architecture is central to the Raptor's stealth and lethality. The internal bay arrangement allows air-to-air and air-to-ground weapons without the drag and signature penalties of external stores. Air-to-air loadouts typically include 2 short-range AIM-9 Sidewinder missiles and side bay weapons, and up to 6 medium-range AIM-120 AMRAAM missiles in the main internal bay. Air and Space Forces magazine. The F-22 also carries a 20mm M61A2 12-barrel cannon with about 480 rounds for close-in engagements. Air and Space Forces magazine for air-to-ground missions. The Raptor can carry precision bombs such as the GBU-32JDM or multiple small-diameter bombs SDBs inside the main bay, Air, and Space Forces magazine. The aircraft also incorporates advanced radar though, an APG-77 active electronically, scanned array AESA, and extensive electronic countermeasure ECM suites, sensor fusion, data link capability, Link 16, and beyond to network with allied aircraft and command systems. Lockheed Martin, all of this adds up to a jet that can see first, decide first, shoot first, and win before the enemy knows the fight has begun. Combat and operational history. The F-22 entered initial operational capability IOC in December 2005. From that point on, it has become the spearhead of U.S. air dominance, albeit largely detoriented, rather than engaged in large-scale peer conflict. While it is not often seen dogfights against equal opponents, an outcome that arguably speaks to its deterrence value, it has flown numerous training exercises, participated in homeland defense intercepts, particularly in Alaska airspace, where Russian bombers probe USEA defense and being deployed overseas for expeditionary air dominance. The Aviationist? In Syria, from 2014 onwards, Raptors have conducted precision strike and suppression missions in support of U.S. and coalition operations, showcasing the multi-role flexibility that mission planners always envisioned. Beyond actual combat, each sortie and training across Red Flag and other large force exercises provides data, refining tactics, and reinforcing the aircraft's edge. Maintenance cycles, sensors, networking, all of these evolve in the crucible of recurring high-end exercise planning. In historical terms, the F-22 has achieved what perhaps was its greatest victory: deterrence. The mere presence of these jets in a theater often forces adversaries to change their approach, delay movements, or refrain entirely, silently acknowledging that the skies are no longer an invitation. Tactics and doctrine. The doctrinal use of the F-22 centers on air superiority and air dominance. The goal is to achieve control of the airspace so decisively that other operations ground attack. Logistical movement, ISR can proceed under Allied freedom of movement. The Raptor's role is to be first in, last out, controlling the high ground of altitude and time. Pilots exploit stealth to approach undetected, use sensor fusion to build that first look picture. Engage targets at long range with the M120 missiles before maneuver begins, and if needed, close in for dogfight with high G capability and thrust vectoring. The maneuver envelope is exceptional. 9G maneuvers at takeoff gross weight. High angle of attack performance. The F-22 often operates in tandem with other assets. Combat air patrols, escort missions, or integrated strike packages. In joint networks, it serves not only as shooter, but as sensor node, relaying data to other platforms, turning the jet into a node in the wider battle space. Upgraded data link architectures, for example, RACR Release 1, support this vision. In summary, a pilot climbs into the cockpit with mission briefed when airborne. The jet's combination of speed, altitude, stealth, and sensors gives them options adversaries simply cannot match. Threats may appear too late. Weapons may fire too late. Decisions become too slow. Victory by design. Comparison. To truly appreciate the F-22's performance, it must be viewed against its probable rivals. In a head-to-head scenario, the F-22 would likely see its adversary before being seen, launch long-range missiles under a stealth umbrella, climb above the fight, and dominate the vertical. That said, every platform has its risks. Large numbers. Logistics, ground-based air defenses, electronic warfare can blunt any single advantage. The F-22's edge is clear, but it is not invincible without the support of the wider system. Modern relevance. Although production of the F-22 ended in 2011, only 195 aircraft built. The fleet remains the U.S. Air Force Esperemia air dominance fighter. Modernization efforts continue. The RACR Release 1 upgrade adds open systems architecture, improved data link, and enhanced radar and survivability features. The F-22's role in the years ahead remains relevant as peer adversaries develop stealth fighters, advanced surface-to-air missiles, and integrated air defenses. The need for a platform that can regain control of contested airspace becomes ever more critical. The Raptor is that platform today and will continue to be so until its eventual successor enters service. Moreover, the F-22's operational employment has expanded beyond pure air-to-air. It now provides precision ground attack capability, electronic warfare support, and acts as a command and control node in multi-domain operations. Its value is not just in aerial duels, but in shaping the battle space across domains. Emotional ending reflection in skies where thunder once ruled and silhouette meant threat. The F-22 Raptor emerges as the silent sentinel of air dominance. It embodies an era when speed and stealth no longer moved in isolation. When sensor and shooter merged. When the pilot becomes conductor of a symphony of warfare above the clouds. Each takeoff is a message. Control delivered. Each sortie, a promise. Freedom of the sky. It stands not simply as a machine of war, but as the manifestation of a nation's command of the air, and by extension, its resolve to protect and prevail. In the quiet afterburn of its engines, there lies a statement that in this domain above the earth, where limbs blur and danger feigns power, precision and purpose converge, for as long as that silver arrow arcs into sunrise, rivals will measure not only their capabilities, but their futures against it. And so, the F-22 Raptor remains more than a fighter. It is the threshold of a generation, the guarantor of the skies, the silent guardian in the vault of the heavens.